His son, Chip Carter, confirmed the former president died at his home in Plains, Georgia today. Carter entered hospice care in February of last year after a series of hospital stays. He served as president for one term from 1977 to 1981 and is known for his humanitarian service working for Habitat for Humanity. Karen Travers has more.
Federal, state, and local leaders have all expressed outrage over the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Tonight, the Sedgwick County Sheriff is reacting and says he's closely worked with the Secret Service for political events in Wichita in the past. Our Nick Nelson spoke with him this evening and joins us now with more. Nick.
Absolutely. Sheriff Easter is one of several people expressing disgust over the attempted assassination of the former president and the use of political violence at this rally in Pennsylvania last night. He says he believes the campaign rhetoric needs to cool down. Police were able to respond quickly to the vandalism because of a 24-hour train cam, which is right here at the museum. And good evening, I'm Nick Nelson. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll get to those stories in a moment, but first, it's not pouring snow like it was a few weeks ago, but it is below freezing, and those frigid temperatures are just going to get worse. Meteorologist Cameron Venable is here now with a first look at the forecast. Cameron, how cold are we going to get?
We're going to be well below zero for wind chill. Some spots are going to just be below zero on Tuesday morning up in northwest and northern Kansas.
Friday evening, at least a dozen people were left without a place to stay after the Economy Hotel Plus on West Kellogg suddenly closed its doors. Residents say they weren't given much notice and have been left without their belongings. KAKE's Kate Devine has more on the chaotic closure and what's next for those affected. For years now, advocates have been calling for a wider accessibility of life-saving overdose drugs. And pretty soon, in downtown Wichita, all it's going to take is the press of a few simple buttons, and it's all anonymous and free. A vending machine that dispenses Narcan, a drug that can save the life of someone experiencing an opioid overdose, is being unveiled to the public this week in downtown Wichita.
We have a crew on the scene. Let's go to KAKE's Nick Nelson live now from the homes on South Laura with more. Nick, what have you learned so far?
Pilar, there are still several emergency vehicles here on South Laura, here in South Wichita. If you take a quick look behind me, you can see that there's police tape still here in this neighborhood. This is the neighborhood where 4 victims were found dead. The Newton community is rallying around a 15-year-old in need of a stem cell transplant. Many of them taking a few extra minutes out of their Saturday to hopefully save a life. KAKE's Abby Ray has that story. Well, an increase in gun violence has many city and faith-based leaders meeting in hopes to bring it to an end. It was a packed parking lot this morning at the International Association of Machinists Union. Textron aviation workers showing up to vote on the company's new 5-year contract. KAKE's Stephanie Minichi shares how some are feeling about this new deal in this part of our continuing coverage. If you open the TikTok app right now, there's a chance you get a message like this. The last part of it saying we are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office.
Here in Wichita, those wind gusts topped 80 miles an hour at one point. Nick Nelson takes a look at how Wichitans are dealing with that damage. Nick?
Yeah, Pilar, take a look at this site behind me. You can see that a tree in a front yard here snapped and fell onto this fence, kind of bending the fence up and breaking it a little bit. The tree was actually taller than this. It actually went out into the road. But as you can see, they were able to cut that up and make sure that the road was clear for people to drive on.
Now, Nick, all 3 of those homes are within about a half mile of each other in a residential neighborhood. Have you had a chance to speak with folks who live in the area yet? What are they saying about all this?
That's right. Several people arrived here once they had heard what was happening here and in the block on Santa Fe nearby. While we haven't talked with anyone there, police are still speaking with a number of neighbors, going house to house, door to door to ask for any additional information. Again, we're really early into the investigation, and as police learn more, they will release that information. For now, Nick Nelson reporting live, KAKE News on your side.
Another life from Kansas lost on that flight, a Wichita civil rights attorney.
Who was also a Miss Kansas contestant, Kia Duggins. KAKE's Nick Nelson continues our team coverage now with more from friends and co-workers of hers and what they'll miss the most. Nick.
Yeah, Duggins was a well-known attorney and advocate who was set to take her career to the next level as a law professor. Her friends and fellow Wichitans are remembering her tonight as a beautiful and brave soul.
It just didn't feel real. Um, it's still hard to believe since she was just so young and such a radiant person.
Marcus Rucker became friends with Kia Duggins at East High School in Wichita. Both ended up going into civil rights law and advocacy after they graduated. He says he knew right away she was going to be successful.
After high school, I just kept following her journey. And I mean, the last time I spoke with her was just a few weeks ago when she had shared an audio recording of a court case where she was defending someone in a court case, and I just, told her that, she was doing such a great job.
Duggins was an accomplished attorney who was studying to become a law professor at Howard University in Washington, D.C. Before her law career, she competed in several pageant competitions, becoming Miss Butler County, then competing in the Miss Kansas pageant in 2014 and 2015. She made it into the top 10 both years. Pageant director Larry Strong tells us in a phone call he's heartbroken by Kia's loss.
I knew she was a special young lady. She was just such a little go-getter and just a wonderful person. I knew she had a big career. She kind of had that it factor. I just knew she was going to do big things.
For Rucker, what he'll remember most about his friend is her passion and love for life.
Her conviction is what stood out the most to me. Seeing how passionate she was about the work that she was doing and for such a good cause, that's something that is going to definitely be a motivator for me as I go forward too. And I hope to kind of tribute some of my own work to her legacy.
Now, Mayor Lily Wu also posted this picture tonight with Kia saying, "We are praying for your family, the colors of unity and hope. Thank you for the reminder, God." Nick Nelson, KAKE News on your side.
Well, since 1887, firefighters from across the Sunflower State have paid the ultimate sacrifice, laying down their lives for their community. Today, family, friends, and members of the Brotherhood gathered at the annual Fallen Firefighter Memorial Ceremony as 4 more names were added. Here again is KAKE's Nick Nelson.
Honor, valor, and remembrance of the fallen firefighters of Kansas.
Brian J. Konechny, Wichita.
These are just some of the names of those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. 4 new names were added this year alone. Wichita Fire Chief Tammy Snow says more needs to be done so that one year, no names have to be added to the memorial wall at Lincoln Park.
If you don't have a smoke alarm, you call our office, we will come and install it even for you. So there's those kind of things, and just continual education, with the change in technology. There's ion batteries, lithium batteries. We just need to continue to saturate the market in safety tips, because if we can prevent you from having a house fire, that is very beneficial to firefighters.
Several families of the fallen came to honor their loved ones.
Jamie Lee Curtis Weir.
Jamie Curtis died in the line of duty in 2017. His family accepted a plaque in honor of his service.
I'd just come off of another call and was getting the trucks ready for another call, and he had a little heart issue, so he had a heart attack right there at the station.
Curtis's father, James, served in the Weir Fire Department in southeast Kansas. When his son got old enough, they served together.
I was a firefighter for many years, and I became the fire chief. And then he joined the fire department, and at that time I put him as my assistant chief. And he kept saying someday he wanted to be a fire chief, so I let him be fire chief, and I transferred down to assistant chief.
Snow announced the city plans to expand the fire museum across the entire park, making it a learning experience for children about fire service.
What the dream is to build just directly to the east of this museum another building where we can house all those antique fire trucks, and then to take the park and renovate it so it's completely fire department themed.
This ceremony comes 2 months after the death of Wichita firefighter Ty Vogt. Snow says his passing is still on the mind of all Wichita firefighters.
Next year we'll end up putting him on this wall. Whatever we can do to prevent that, and not only through fire prevention where we educate other people, but ourselves internally. There's things that we need to continue to work on our health and our wellness to make sure that we are where we need to be.
In Wichita, Nick Nelson, KAKE News on your side.
I think playing my home course this week to kind of not be as locked in just because I'm so used to playing out here, but with people out there, it feels a little bit more like a tournament and kind of keep me focused for sure.
PGA Tour golfer Sam Stevens is no stranger to the course at Crestview Country Club, but he's never played the course in front of this many people. The annual Wichita Open brought in thousands of golf fans who got to see Stevens' name climb up the leaderboard throughout the weekend. Tournament director Dusty Buell says he's happy to see this tournament put Wichita on the map for professional golf.
I love it for the Korn Ferry Tour. I love it for Wichita. I love it that we had that piece where our local guy came in just short at the end.
Unfortunately, a few bogeys in the final round put Stevens in second place at the end, behind Taylor Dixon from North Carolina. Speaking after his win, Dixon said Stevens put up a great fight.
My job is to win, but no, I mean, he's from here. They should be cheering for him. He's an awesome guy.
Although the Wichita native didn't win, Buell says the golf community in Wichita has a lot to look forward to.
This community wraps its arm around this tournament, and having everybody out here, the eyeballs on this place, it continues to help us build our sponsorships, and our sponsorships build this tournament. And if we continue to put on a show like we did this past week, we're going to have even more people want to be involved with us.
Nick Nelson, KAKE News on your side.